Hey guys, Chrono, and I've got a very unique build that I want to share with you today that I faced at our local. It was very fun to face. And tell us, what are you playing?
So it is Windwitch Invoked with Spellbook and Artifact.
Okay, all right. So go ahead and break it down for us. What cards do you play?
We'll start with the monsters.
Okay.
So everything is 3 Alistair.
Okay.
Everybody,
could you turn those for me the other way?
I will do that. Everybody knows Alistair.
Yeah, too good this card.
So searches for your invocation. That's your starter of all your fusions. And yes, everybody knows this card. You have to have it.
Okay, awesome. Okay, what else?
So second engine is a Windwitch
this
engine.
Blew me away. Why did you decide to go ahead and insert the Windwitch engine into this?
Because Crystal Wing is amazing. So I'll show you when I get to the extra deck.
Okay.
Hopefully everybody knows. If not, we'll teach them. So this one, you can special summon this one if you control no monsters.
Right.
And then it'll fetch this one.
Yes.
When this one's summoned, you can chain block to this one. Therefore, you get her effect to search for the third one.
Okay.
So you will, you'll tune with the first two into one monster I'll show you.
Right.
And then you retune again, and you end on a Crystal Wing. And if you're lucky and had Alistair, you end on a little more.
Oh, that's just awesome. Awesome. Love the idea of that in there.
We'll get to that when we grab the extra deck.
Okay.
So I played some hand traps and I didn't know what to play. I think with the new Numeron cards, I'm probably going to switch it up a little. But two Phantasme. I mean, I needed a dark target for Alistair also. So it's kind of like a huge variety.
Sure, no, I get that.
2 Ash.
Yep, just stop your opponent.
Yeah, stop your opponent. And you need to fire.
Sure, right, for your Invoked engine. Or, yes, the Invoked engine, yeah.
So I play Artifacts also.
And this is such a clutch card. So, and then I can't wait till we talk about your traps that you play, because I think it's good tech. But explain to someone who may not know what this does.
So Scythe, if you summon Scythe during your opponent's turn, they cannot use their extra deck.
Yes.
So
they can still special summon from the hand, but not from the extra deck.
And deck and everything along the lines of that. So
but it kills
against Monarchs,
decks.
Against Monarchs and stuff, this is no good. This will be a side out. But this basically makes it to where you can't hardly play.
Absolutely.
2 more Artifacts I play. I play 1 Morale Tech.
Now, what does that one do?
So this one is, it basically at this point it's just another name.
Okay.
But it is, with this card is special summon during your opponent's turn, destroy 1 face-up card your opponent controls.
Gotcha, okay.
So it's just a destroy.
Okay, so it's interruption.
And Lancia is, you can actually discard this one from hand, so this one's not horrible to have.
Okay.
But your opponent cannot banish. Well, neither one of you cannot banish.
Oh, that's good, because
the
it would
rest
slow
of the
down
turn.
decks that rely on banishing so heavily. Nice. Nice.
Yes, and I'll show you how we get to these here in a little bit.
Okay.
And then 1 more monster is the Spellbook Magician of Prophecy.
Okay, and you use this purely for draw?
Yes.
Okay. Any targets?
He's water.
Okay.
So again, he's an invoke card that I need to keep going a little bit.
Okay.
But yes, there's a couple spell cards I'll show you.
Okay. Awesome.
That he plays with.
So let's go ahead and see the spells.
So the spells start as 3 Magical Meltdown.
Yeah, so good.
You have to play 3. If it's going to get limited or hit on the ban list or something, it's going to change everything. But so this one searches your Alistair.
How much do you feel it messes with your consistency if it were hit to 1?
None, and I'll show you why. Because I absolutely think I could go around it. So,
okay, awesome. Yeah, I definitely want to see that.
Honestly, I think if this was hit to 1, I think less people will play it. So it might actually be a little healthier for the game.
Okay.
I'm kind of torn on that, but it's
okay. No, I can't wait to hear what you're thinking on that. Right, so good. This card. It's great that it had a reprint. Now people can play it more.
And actually, the super right here is actually replaced with a secret, but we left it in. We left it in for right now.
No, I get you.
So you can search it with Alistair. You know, the idea is to go Meltdown to Alistair to Invocation.
Right.
And then you just chain up from there.
Okay.
This can recycle 1 banished Alistair from your banished pile back to your hand to boost your fusion monsters.
And I definitely want to go through that play because I thought you did very well with that earlier. That was key.
So a note to to like I'm not playing a Shaddoll Invoked, but a note to the Shaddolls is Alistair can boost their fusions attack and defense also.
Oh, really? Ooh.
It is not limited to the Invoke monsters.
Okay, so we are definitely going to have to look at that a little bit more. Okay, awesome.
So that's the invocation.
Okay.
I play one Mystic Mind.
Okay, now how often do you feel like you use it?
This won me a match today.
Did it really?
Yeah,
okay,
absolutely
so having
did.
the one in was huge. Okay.
Yes, and I'll show you why.
Okay.
Because I do play one terraforming.
Okay, so you have the choice if you want to
Yes.
go for the Magical Meltdown or if you want to go for the Mystic Mind.
Yes,
Nice.
and I have one other addition to that in the trap cards as well.
Yeah,
so,
awesome.
Everybody,
Gotcha.
Everybody knows what Mystic Mind does.
It's so good for stalling. Absolutely.
You have to sometimes.
Very
it won me a
effective.
game playing generator type stuff that I couldn't get over his monster, so I had to slow him down somehow. So to continue the spellbook engine, 2 secrets and 2 knowledge.
Yeah.
This is kind of just like a space keeper, honestly, because this is run at 40 cards.
Sure.
So you could ditch this for something else.
Okay.
But basically, if you want to deck thin, you play the spellbook of secrets and grab the knowledge, and then the knowledge, and
right.
you get a free draw.
Absolutely.
And Alistair doesn't care if he's in the graveyard.
Oh,
so
sure, because
this
you can just
send,
recycle him. Yeah,
that can send Alistair.
Okay.
This is the reason I play 3 Invocation, because I play 2 Potted Desires.
Sure, and you don't want to banish something by accident.
Yeah, it's rough when you banish stuff.
Oh, absolutely.
So, but
this is why this card's so risky for me.
Yeah, but it's so great though.
Right, especially if you top deck something well. Yes.
I mean, anytime you draw 2 is crazy.
Yes, it's so good.
It is a big chance. And one more spell is an Artifact Ignition.
Okay, and how does this card work?
So, it's basically target 1 spell trap on the field and destroy it.
Okay.
But it doesn't specify whose side of the field.
Oh,
so
nice.
If you set an artifact, this is a quick play.
Effect, yeah.
So you set an artifact and you can activate this during your opponent's turn.
Nice.
And a scythe would be a good.
Right, and then you stop them from.
Yeah, because you don't want to see those. You don't want to see those artifacts.
No, not in your hand.
You don't want to see them in your hand, but sometimes you do, and they are all settable. You can all set them all in the back row.
Awesome, love it. Okay, let's go ahead and see your traps now.
So to continue on with the artifacts, 3 Sanctum.
Yeah, so good.
It's horrible.
Oh, it's great. Yeah, it's a great card. Yeah.
To open this, if you go turn 1 and you open this, basically you stop your opponent from playing because you'll throw a scythe on board.
Sure, and that happened to me earlier. You totally blocked me, and I had no chance after that.
I think it's happened to everybody.
Really good.
Here.
No, but it's good. It's a great great card.
Plus, if you destroy this or the ignition for that effect, it has a negative effect if you destroy it on field.
Absolutely.
So that one's horrible as well. 2 Call the Haunted.
Now, this was so interesting. Explain to our audience why you decided to put those in.
So, I mean, everybody knows what it does. It's a trap, so it's a little bit slow.
Yeah.
And you can only pull from your graveyard. But you can Call the Haunted.
Yes.
A scythe is the main target for everything.
Absolutely.
You can call the Haunted a scythe during your opponent's turn, and then your opponent cannot use their extra deck
and
that
I
turn.
thought for disruption, guys, this is a great tech to put in a lot of different deck engines. This should definitely be considered.
Everybody overlooks Call the Haunted.
Absolutely.
It's one of the
on
classics.
your opponent's turn.
And actually,
really
this
good.
is a Pharaoh's Servant.
Oh, nice. I like that. Sweet. I wish I could capture it properly.
It's got some age on it.
Yeah, that's awesome, though.
And then one more trap is a Metaverse.
Sure.
I threw this in this morning. Yeah, well, you'll see in my side, I do side in a couple more field spells, and it's purely for disruption.
Okay.
This can activate straight from the deck, so you could activate a Mystic Mind during your opponent's turn if you needed to. Or a Meltdown for that matter.
Sure.
Because I named 2 different field spells, and then I actually got a couple more in the side.
Awesome. Okay, let's go through your extra deck now.
So the extra deck is anybody that plays Invoked. Some of this is going to be pretty basic. So you go Almirage.
Yeah, such a good card. This was clutch because I couldn't OTK you because you had this Link 1. Talk about this Link 1 here, Secure Guardian.
So his biggest downfall is he can't be used as link material. But when you get him on the field, your thought process is you're probably needing a Mechaba at this point.
Okay.
And if not, you're throwing a fire in the graveyard with your Alistair.
Right.
So this is why I play Purgatrio and Mechaba.
Okay.
He has a lot of damage that he can eat. You cannot take damage for once per turn, and for the rest of this turn. All right, I'll read these.
No, you're fine. Yeah, you're perfect.
So after this card is special summoned, you take no effect damage for the rest of this turn, which you're summoning on your turn, so it's probably not huge. Once per turn, if you would take battle or effect damage, you take no damage.
Awesome.
So basically,
and
just
that
stops.
was huge because that's what you used against me earlier, and I couldn't finish the deck, or I couldn't finish the damage. It was really good.
Yeah, against an OTK deck, it'll save you. It'll save you a little bit.
So that's definitely a tech choice I would recommend.
Like I said, biggest downfall, you can't link him away, so you have to find other means.
So you're stuck with him.
Yeah, you have to find other means to get rid of him. I never played this today, but it's good to have around. It's basically just get rid of one monster.
Sure.
One monster your opponent controls.
If you were to side that out, do you have different extra deck cards you side out?
No.
Okay.
No, because honestly, there's a lot of people that play this like really, really close. Like if you were playing Shadal's, you run out of room pretty easy.
Okay.
Just the Windwitch and the Invoked stuff. It doesn't really take up that much space. So this was an extra. I'm not going to complain about that extra because it's a pretty tough extra.
It is a tough one, yeah.
This is another Alistair.
So strong. Yes.
So he has an effect that if you fusion summon after he's on the field, you can discard a card and then you can add a Book of the Law or Invocation from deck to hand.
Yes.
I have played Book of the Law before. It's definitely not a bad card. Just don't have room for it. So,
I get you. Mm-hmm.
So you're pitching a card and grabbing another invocation, and on field and in grave, he is also considered Alistair the Invoker.
Oh, that's awesome.
So you can...
Ooh, does that ever cause issues then? Because its name is like that in the grave.
You can use invocation on him in the grave. Like if you were to link this away, he's still basically another Alistair in grave.
I do have a question. Are you allowed to have 3 Alistairs in the grave then?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, because he would be technically 4. So, because you play 3.
Well, it is a different card, but he just takes over his name.
Okay, just when he's on the field
and graveyard.
Ooh, then okay. So it's just like Cyber.
Yeah.
Okay, just wanted to be sure. That's interesting. Okay, awesome.
You normally won't get that many in the graveyard. You're recycling all of them.
Right.
One more link, and this one's like just a preference.
I like this card. Yeah, I do too. He's in my extra deck as well.
He never saw play today though. I really didn't. I didn't need. It's Borload. I didn't find a need to summon him. This could be changed out for Boral Sword, which honestly in my build. Sometimes I can OTK, so a Boral Sword might actually be, but you're not summoning enough. You just don't have access to enough monsters, and again, there's
and I like his
why.
ability sometimes to take their monster and then link off. So that's one of the reasons I always like the Borolo Dragon. Is sometimes I need a bigger.
It's a non-targeting removal. Honestly, this was in here to get rid of Mech Knight Avermax.
Oh, okay.
This was my response to Avermax.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, because you would take the card at that point. Very smart tech.
Because Avermax was horrible. It just beat me up.
Okay.
1xCs, I didn't summon today. It's probably not hardly ever going to summon it, but
it's good to have though.
Well, with the Wind Witches, you get locked into wind. So I was like, I have a couple options for wind monsters.
Okay.
He's 2 level 4. Alistair's level 4.
Yeah.
Your 2 of the Wind Witch you play is level 4.
Sure.
There may be something I'm overlooking.
Just in case your opponent's playing Mystic Mind, you could chain to this.
Yes.
Very important.
Yes, because this just gets rid of one spell and trap on the field.
Right. Absolutely.
You could swap this out with like a Daiguzo Emerald would be a good addition. I thought about playing a Great Fly, which is a wind link.
Yes, right, which is the link.
But the Wind Witch locks you into some weird stuff.
Sure.
So I thought, because I believe Glass Bell can get Glass Bell, and that'll put me into a rank 4 at that point.
Okay.
2 synchros. So with the Windwitch, you go 7 and then you go 8.
Yeah, and then it's unaffected.
And it can't be destroyed by opponent's card effect. So Wind Pegasus Adagnister, I think, is my absolute best level 7.
Okay.
So when he's summoned, you can destroy spells and traps on the field up to the number of Adagnister monsters you control.
Oh, nice.
Which is only 1, but sometimes 1 is enough.
Yes, absolutely.
He also has a Grave effect.
Okay.
That if a card on your side of the field is destroyed by card effect or battle, you can banish him from grave and shuffle one of your opponent's cards back in the deck.
Awesome.
So it's like anytime you
pretty
get,
good.
because he's
I've
dead.
never seen that either. I love it. That's a great card.
I mean,
great card.
He's dead when he goes to the grave, but if you can get one more effect out of him,
absolutely.
So, and you're going to, of course, Crystal Wing
cards
Dragon.
Too good. Yes, too good.
It's hard to summon.
Normally, right?
But with
if
the
you get
Windwitch,
the
Windwitch, it works great.
It works great.
So he can negate one monster's effect, and he gains its attack, and then he gains a monster's attack of anything he's battling over level 5.
Yes, right.
And then, like if you summon him with the Windwitch, then he cannot be destroyed by card effects.
Right. Okay.
So he's a monster.
Yes, very good card, especially for that tech you're using.
So the Invoked fusion cards.
Yes, and these were key.
I play 1 Caliga.
Yep.
2 Raijin.
Okay.
1 Cositis. 1 Purgatrio.
That was huge today. Huge.
And 2 Mechaba.
Okay. Love it.
So, Caliga is once you use 1 effect per turn, you can't use any more monster effects.
Right.
And you can only battle with 1 monster while he's on the field.
That's so good. So good.
Invoked Raijin is your Book of Moon. Also, these 2 are instant fusion targets.
Oh, nice, yeah.
So
yeah,
that
absolutely.
is sometimes that's an option.
Yeah.
Not in today's build, but sometimes that's an option.
Sure.
Book of Moon, flip it face down. If you instant fusion Raijin, you can use his own effect to flip him face down, and then he will not leave the field because of instant fusion.
Sure.
It forgot how it was summoned.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Invoked Cositis is your water. You summon him in defense position. He has 2,900 defense. He can attack from defense position.
Yes, so nice.
And your opponent cannot target or destroy with card effects.
Nice, nice.
So yeah, so he's pretty rough. That's why you play the blue boy.
This was so clutch in our match, especially. Go ahead and talk about this card.
So, Invoke Purgatrio, he starts out with 2,300. He gains 200 attack for each card your opponent controls, and he can attack each monster once.
Yes, and it reminded me so much of Ancient Gears. They do the same type of thing. Yes, this is so effective.
Yes.
Because, go ahead and talk about the combo that you did with Alistair.
So, your Alistair has, let me find an Alistair here.
Oh, no, you're fine.
And we'll read it verbatim.
Okay.
So, Alistair says, and it is a quick effect, you can send this card from your hand to the graveyard, then target 1 fusion monster you control. Note 1 fusion,
yes,
not
1 fusion.
just these guys, 1 fusion.
Yes, 1 fusion.
It gains 1,000 attack and defense until the end of this turn.
Okay,
so, and his second effect is the invocation.
Yeah, so can you show it with the cards? So the combo that he did, guys, and this was so good. So I had a loaded field, and because of it, he gains an extra 1,000, and then I had 5 monsters on the field, so it went to 4,300, and then he attacked my weakest monster, and then just kept going and OTK'd me. And such a good combo.
It's piercing damage.
Yeah, piercing damage. Yeah. Really, really effective.
And this is not once per turn either. If you were holding multiple Alistairs...
so you could combo
yes,
it up.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, that's so broken. That's really good.
And in a situation like this is where...
Do you have anyone DD Crow you then when you're playing this?
Not.
Interesting. Okay, interesting. All right. And
so,
then, yeah, keep going.
Also, like... what kind of the thought process is, so your Caliga, which you can only attack with 1 at a time, that's what this one is designed for.
Oh, so that's the combo.
Yeah, so he can clear
all monsters. So you make sure
monsters.
it's just him by summoning this first, and then you've got that on the field to make sure that's your one that you get to attack.
Yeah, because honestly, I think this hurts your opponent more than it hurts you.
Yes, that would make sense. Absolutely.
Yeah, because the way Alistair goes, yeah, you're so few and far between.
Right.
Sometimes I end on a board that only has 1 or 2 monsters, and I'm not even worried about it.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
And in a combo like this, also, Book of the Law is a quick play spell card, and you can basically fusion summon by a fusion. So you'll send that to grave, and you'll fusion another one out.
Nice.
In the battle phase.
Oh, that's so broken.
So
that's really good.
If you can't make this, then you go through with what you can get, or you're stuck with Caliga on field, and you need a second attack.
Yeah.
You book a Book of the Law.
Okay.
Send your Caliga,
and then you
get a free one.
Oh, nice, nice. Okay, and then of course you've got your big negate.
Megabuzz and Omni
so
negate.
good.
Yeah.
It's so good.
He starts at 2,500. If you can, if you can hold more cards in your hands. This is once per turn, but it's once per turn per copy.
Yes, and that's what makes it so good.
So, 2 cards, and you've seen that I play trap spells and monsters, so I'm usually holding a combination of all of the above.
Absolutely.
So that's what makes it. That's what makes him so dangerous. You're all right in a duel if you just Mechaba and pass.
Oh, yes,
Because you'll be able to interrupt one thing for sure.
And it's nice because, like you said, you play all 3 types for that card to work, so I like it.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go ahead and see your extra deck now.
Or the side.
Or, I'm sorry, the side, yes.
So, the side is not... It's something.
It's something, okay.
So, I play 1 set rotation. Set rotation's at 1, so I play a set rotation.
Okay. Good to get out multiple copies of other things.
But you're always worried that if I draw my Mystic Mind, then I can't play a set rotation. And I did side this in. Even against you, I sided this in.
Yeah.
So I also side in something else.
Yes.
So this one is my next bet, my next best choice. Secret Village of the Spellcasters. Half of my monsters are spellcasters. At least all of the
Invoke.
Yeah, they're all different types. Alistair's a spellcaster, the Windwitch are spellcaster.
Oh, right.
And the Blue Boy's a spellcaster.
Sure.
So
you have that option.
You can kind of do this. And
do you ever feel like it's taken some games?
This is kind of dangerous because your opponent, if you set rotation and they're both face down, your opponent can't activate one while there's one face down.
Yes, right.
So there are other options for this. You can play. There's 2 that I'm not gonna remember the names of because I don't feel like it's necessary. But there's 2 that if your opponent's not playing that archetype, they cannot activate the field spell.
Nice.
So you kind of lock them out, which is okay. I like that as a theory.
Yeah, absolutely.
This one again.
Oh, this was huge against me, guys.
This is here for Adamantipator.
The summon limit killed me. I had everything to OTK him, and then he played this. And I got him down to 1,200, but I couldn't finish the job because he pulled out the summon limit. Such a key card.
Yes.
Because how many times do you feel like you summon in one turn?
If I have summon limit on my side of the field, I can make all my plays in 2 summons.
Yes, and I saw that. And you're good.
All right, so how this affects me, if I know I have to play around it, it's a little bit of a hindrance, but it's not horrible.
Okay.
Because you will special summon your Alistair once, and then you'll take your invocation. And if this is on the field, then depending on what's in my grave or your grave, I'll make accordingly.
Yeah.
And like what you're wanting me to say here.
Yes. Oh, this killed me, guys.
You go into a Purgatrio. And then it can attack all monsters. And assuming that you've only gotten to summon twice, you're probably just throwing up some meat.
Exactly.
Just to hold off, and this one can attack through it.
And it's so good for an OTK situation. Which he did to me. That's literally what he did. He did the summon limit. Went into this invoked monster that you're seeing, and then using Alistair beefed it up, and then it was game over for me. And so here I thought I was on a good board, and nope, he worked around it. Okay, other cards that you've got?
So
for your side?
Wondergeki.
Yeah.
I don't think that needs any kind of. I cited this in against you and never saw it.
Sure.
It's a wonderful card. So there's a second artifact ignition in here.
Yep. So good.
Same thing as the first one, just in case, because I do run some more artifacts in here.
Yeah.
If I think I need these I have one more Lancium, one more Morale
Right,
Attack.
just for that disruption. Okay.
This sighted against something like a Cyber Dragon or something that banishes
all the time.
Yeah,
Yep,
and
so
this
you
is
shut it down.
This is just another target. Like if I don't know what to do, I'll grab a Morale Attack. It's
and
probably
you still get the interruption though.
Yeah,
so
it's
huge.
probably the third best.
Okay.
In my opinion. 2 Veilers in the side.
Yep.
I main the Ash and I main the Phantasmes. I run plenty of light, so as far as worried about my own board, I don't necessarily need these, but it is a good interruption if you need to stop something. 2 Cosmic Cyclone.
Yes, so good against if you're playing a Mystic Mind build or something.
It's okay. I mean, yes, it works great against the Mystic Mind build because they're going to protect it and this will straight banish it.
Absolutely.
But for my build, I think both of these or one of these needs to come out for, say, just a regular MST.
Why would you say that? Why?
Because I need to be able to destroy my own cards and send them to the grave as far as my artifacts go and not banish them.
Not banish them. Gotcha. So it helps you more to have something that would destroy versus banish.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yes, and this is kind of like a. I mean, it's kind of free. It's not like a Twin Twister where you have to discard a card.
Right.
1,000 life points is 1,000 life points,
which is not too bad.
So these are probably going to come out. It's still one of my favorite cards, but it's probably going to come out. So this is the fun right here.
Oh, Prohibition.
So, I don't think I cited these in against you.
No.
But to just throw Prohibition on the field and then say you're not allowed to touch whatever card.
Yes, and then there's nothing that your opponent can do about it unless they have an out immediately.
Yeah, you have to get rid of this card. That's all you can do.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
how did you do with your build the past 2 weeks?
So last week was first place.
Okay.
And it was a little different than what it is now.
Okay.
I lost once today.
Okay.
So technically,
what was the weakness you feel in that loss?
I drew a handful of artifacts.
Oh, so that is the downside. Gotcha.
And there's a lot of artifacts in there.
Yes, I see that. Okay. But how often do you feel like you pull those versus not?
It's honestly, it's not horrible.
Okay.
So I used to play Dark World Dealings, and I felt like I was giving too many cards to my opponents.
Okay.
But Dark World Dealings is a way to like reset this.
Okay.
You can kind of set your hand, but that's why the Phantasme, because almost everybody plays Link monsters because you almost have to.
Yeah.
I mean, even though I didn't see any from you, I think everybody else I played
was playing Links.
I only played 2 Phantasme. I resolved 2 of them in one game earlier.
Oh wow, awesome.
So basically, with the Phantasme, when your opponent link summons a monster, you can draw 2 and shuffle 1 back. It's a free +1. It's a 2,400 body.
Right.
When your opponent targets a monster you control, it's a free kill. I mean, you have to discard the card, but you do have that card because you just drew it.
Sure.
And let's say on my opponent's turn, if I didn't have an Alistair, hopefully I'll draw an Alistair, and then I can start my shenanigans from there.
Okay. Well, hey, thank you so much for the deck profile. We really appreciate it.
I appreciate you. Thanks for coming out today.
You bet.
Wait for your next challenge. I know that you'll be back.